The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
Not with the Belgian flag. Sorry, I was just trying to keep it light before we talk about our fascist, our Hitler wannabe.
Well, I was gonna say that we're doing the introductory lessons for World War II today, and with I try not to direct the kids in thinking anyway, but we're describing the rise of Hitler and Mussolini, and I had one kid today go, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
It was like, "Oh, here it goes," and he's like, "Wait, they blamed the Jews and these people. Is that Trump blaming Mexicans?" I was like, "I don't know. You tell me."
And the media.
Right. Yeah, or the previous government under Biden, it's all his fault.
Yeah, that's their playbook.
Yeah. And in class I got to be, this has happened before.
Yes.
And will happen again.
Finally. You know what? I'm proud of that kid.
Yeah. No,
you should have been oh my God, you get an A.
Yeah, but you can't. Well, but and then I have to reel it back a little bit and
course.
be no, you're exactly right. We have a Hitler now.
Correct. You can't do that.
Or
a
wannabe.
Was,
but
I don't know.
Yeah, it's well, explain your answer.
You could have done the Nazi meme.
Right.
Walks like a Nazi, talks like a Nazi, and then it's probably a Nazi.
Yeah, I mean, but the shit analogy always works too. A fucking turd and a fucking potpourri thing is still a fucking turd.
Yeah, like the podcast.
Right.
It's still just shiny turd. She's a shiny turd. By John Cena.
Rub that out. Yeah.
I didn't push start.
Oh, I didn't either. We're 2 minutes in.
Perfect. So yeah, I can't get over that. Each and every day it gets worse. So how long did it take Hitler to dismantle the government and do his thing?
I mean, once he was in charge.
Yeah. Not long.
Once he was chancellor, yeah, no. I mean, it was a matter of weeks.
Like Trump.
Yeah, this is. It's weird because. At least unlike.
I can't believe we're having a conversation about the President of the United States being compared to Hitler, and there being true parallel. You can draw a straight line from A to B.
Well, I mean, it is slightly different in that by the time Hitler took power, it's what the ruling coalition thought they wanted, right?
Well,
so
that's what I was.
That's why people are
they were MAGAs back then. They were just Nazis.
But that's why, historical record is it happened slowly.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it slowly got him from up and coming jail, worked his way up through government, and then took charge.
Yeah, but it was each morphology was it was in line with everything else.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
So it was okay, but that's not that big of a change.
Right.
Whereas what Trump is doing now is a fucking shock to the system, and there's at least there are vocal people at least that aren't being thrown into prison just yet. But
that's a conversation for another time, because that is we're getting close,
dangerously close. Yeah.
Yeah. Witness. I ask it every single week, but go on.
I was gonna say because I think at least at some not the rallies, but some of those town halls, some people have been.
I watched a veteran today tell people to shut the fuck up.
I love that one.
Yeah.
And but
was it the baseball player that was okay, now I'm going to express my First Amendment right to protest?
That was the punter.
Okay, so it was the football player.
Yeah, Cluey, right?
Yeah,
Chris Cluey, or
something like that.
But
that was amazing.
But yeah, I mean, some of those people that are being removed. There was one where a woman was being removed by.
I saw that.
And she was asking the sheriff, like, who are these men? And nobody's responding to her. And
Yep.
it's just like two random, looks like random dudes.
Security.
Right. But you're like, plainclothes police officers shouldn't be at a town hall, but.
Much less physically picking a woman up and dragging her out.
And I would say, like,
nobody did anything.
We're getting off track here, but this is in line with what we were talking about.
Exactly.
You're eliminating suppressive voices or criticism, so that even these reps that go out they're going out to talk to the people, but then they don't want to hear from even these Republicans who are being fucked over.
The ones I've seen have mainly been, because that's the point, I'm not going to say deep Republican, but red representatives who are hosting these town halls.
And the scary part is, sorry, that threw me off. Gunther. Or Ludwig, sorry.
It's okay, because he gets to go home with Tiffany Stratton. Yeah.
So.
They're gonna have beautiful kids.
But
and the media now, like what last week we talked about it, where they're not letting the AP in there, but Caitlin Collins is doing fucking God's work.
She's trying to
in that press room.
What?
And a couple of other people now, like the foreign press.
Yeah.
Are starting to push back against that cunt. I don't even know.
Fucking Ducey Jr. is
that's
starting to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is not good.
Right.
Like
but he frames it like Tucker Carlson would. He'd be like, no? Is it really that bad? But he's starting to ask the questions.
Well, and that's where, so with the town hall pieces, when you're getting, and of course it is, I don't think we've ever treated them properly, but like veterans are really getting fucked now, particularly with the cuts in the VA.
Yep.
Which is just so sad because it's, you got so many people, who would depend on them, but they were slightly getting better.
Well, that's what
in terms of access to they were expanding the mental health.
Yes, exactly.
And all that, and now all that's going away.
There were more resources than ever.
Correct.
For all of these things, you had I'm not going to go in all the wars, but you had Vietnam, and then your Lieutenant Dan's out there.
Yeah.
And now you've got a bunch of young guys wanting to shoot themselves in the head because they fought in the Middle East in one of the several wars that we don't start wars Republicans refer to.
Right. But, as
they're bombing another country today.
That's cute because I recall somebody by the name of Bush
Mission accomplished!
Starting 2 wars.
Correct.
But,
we don't start wars.
And then, but the thing that is speaking to everybody, or at least that's perking up their ears, is when you see the stock market or every index dropping 10% in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 10%.
Well, and particularly like
no, we're in. Think about that. Double digits.
Correct. I mean, like that's the Dow. The Nasdaq was getting really close to 20%. S&P, where our retirement funds are,
Nasdaq is
like
the
12.
tech one, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't go down as much as everybody else because it's tech.
But it rebounded fairly well last.
But it was down too. Is the point? Like,
these bitches got me like paying attention to stock numbers every day because you're just going like, okay, when's the recession gonna hit? And then fucking CEO or somebody polled CEOs and they were the big or who are on the Dow index and they're we're not going to worry till it hits 20 or 30%, like, because you all will be fine,
right? Because what'll happen is everybody's going to lose their shit. The stock market will be nowhere, and then guess who's going to come in and scoop up all of that?
Well, I mean, that's the theory right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That Trump's doing this on purpose to tank the market so that
everybody can swoop in and buy up the entire country.
But that means, all small businesses who have any investment in there, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Our retirements are fucked.
Yep.
And
Those small businesses can't do 401k. They can't do any of that shit anymore.
Yeah.
So who wants to work for them? Then they're going to go out of business. That's on top of the rising cost of all of the goods, unless they're literally whittling wood in the back of their house. But at that point, there probably won't be any trees because Trump just wants to cut all that fucking shit down.
We're at the point now where there's now news warnings of like, hey, if you're going to build a chicken coop in your backyard, this is how you need to do it. Because people are like, I'm just going to buy a bunch of fucking chickens. And then I'll have eggs for days.
I think I've got it saved on my phone, like how to grow potatoes.
Right.
You can't do anything in the ground, so you got to get creative and go.
Oh yeah, you got to get your lattice system going.
Exactly,
yeah.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's like plant here and then go up and then plant.
Yeah, the vegetables are easy, but it's the in-ground shit like gourds
correct.
And fucking
exactly.
Potatoes. Like, you got to figure that out.
I can grow an eggplant right now.
Yeah,
that'll give everybody on this block enough eggplant. The wife and I made that mistake once.
Yeah,
fucking eggplant everywhere. But I can grow shit. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I can reclaim water if I need to.
But it's like we're not in a time of war. Like that's what's fucking crazy.
Would be the issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, thankfully we aren't powered by Canada. So.
Thank God. No, we're all powered by this shit right here.
Right.
That's killing us slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't. I honestly. Yeah, the whole fuck around and find out, and I hate all of you MAGAs for doing this, but that's the hardcore MAGAs. Like, these people who just didn't know or didn't, truly, the ones who were like, there's no way he's going to cut VA benefits or socials. He can't do that.
Well, those are those single issue voters, like whether it was like prices on groceries or Biden's stance on Gaza.
Right.
This is why you have to look holistically at candidates, not just at what you want to cherry pick from them. I'm just saying,
Well, I'm not going to get into the whole Democrats are trash because they.
No, we're going to do that on the other side.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because they're. So Elon, speaking of, what do we have, like a minute and a half?
Would he lose $800 billion?
I think the last
or
number I saw
billion?
it was like 900. No, maybe it was 90 something.
Yeah.
But it was billion.
Correct, yeah.
$92 billion.
Yeah, like Tesla's hemorrhaging right now.
94% down in Europe.
Well, that's why they did the auto show on the front lawn of the White House.
That is illegal.
If it's not, it should be, but yeah. I
didn't think politicians could shill. Well, Trump has been doing that for his whole career. So
as long as Trump is not directly benefiting, if he was claiming the White House was now a dealership like Trump Auto.
It's like Ronnie Lamarck.
Yeah, welcome to the Bone Zone.
He's wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men out in front of the White House.
Those are the best.
White House.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Those are the best memes about
Think about
come
that.
get your Teslers.
The White House.
Well, and
held
then
what amounted to a car show
another
for
dude
Tesla.
Another dude pointed out, remember not that long ago when Trump was saying electric cars are evil and no one should ever buy them, and now he's on primetime television with his good buddy and going everybody needs to buy an electric car. Okay, when did that fucking change, buddy?
What was it, the charging stations?
Yeah.
He got rid of, he's just going to get everything down to where it's Tesla's the only one making electric cars in the United States.
They're trying to make it a hate crime to protest at Tesla dealerships.
I saw that.
Yeah. Or it's, in violation of something, but or no, it's an act of terrorism, excuse me. It's not a hate crime.
So if I'm standing on the sidewalk outside of a Tesla with a sign that says Elon Musk is a Nazi cunt, I could go to jail.
Friday when I was... The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.